So we got my boy here, Ben Azuli, just came through. We're going to do a podcast here. Got the king here, King Ben right here.
What's going on?
Welcome to Miami. Oh man, welcome to Miami, brother.
What's going on, guys?
Just got King Ben here.
Finally made it.
Yeah. King Ben, man. King Ben, man. King Ben. We got a lot to talk about. He came from Los Angeles, so we're gonna make this a special situation, man. We'll get you a drink. What's up, everybody? We got two kings in the household. We got a visiting king from Los Angeles here in Miami. Welcome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me.
Welcome, man. Yeah, man. We got Ben Azuli, King Ben.
King Azula in the house.
Azulai. That's right. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
And we got Alpha King in the house.
Yeah.
So it's two kings, one castle.
Yeah,
we're either gonna chop it up or we're gonna blast it up.
Yeah, man.
This is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna be a good one, man. So Ben, man, when you came here to Miami, how's your stay been so far?
It's good. It's good. I can't complain. I've been thinking about moving to Miami for a while. So I've been coming back and forth in the past few months. Done a few seminars here. It's been great. A lot of fame here. A lot of fame here. The second I step off of the plane, people greet me, people know me, and people love what I do. They really appreciate it. So anywhere I walk, especially if I walk in Brickell, if there is more famous people, they recognize me. If there is not famous people, but normal people, they recognize me. Yeah. So I'm being recognized everywhere, and it's really cool for me because it seems like almost most of my fans are in Miami. So I feel at home, although I'm not home.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you've had like YouTube videos hit like, you've had at least 3 videos I saw recently hit like 10 million.
Yeah.
Back to back. Like it was like 11 million, 10 million, 12 million.
Yeah.
And why do you think you were so successful? Like, what would you say to someone? Like, well, I was curious, like, because obviously, someone sent me your content.
Yeah.
And I remember when I saw it, I was like, man, I like this guy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really thought that. I was like, wow, this guy is not ashamed of who he is.
No, and I'm a real one, and I got values, and I got beliefs, and I stand behind my beliefs. And I definitely don't cower down to anything, and I stand up for what's right, You can even tell them my story with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to share, you can tell the story with me and you.
Yeah.
How you followed me on Instagram and we started talking. And, and we were supposed to meet.
Yeah.
And then he got upset with me. He thought I was trying to get... So let's start from the beginning. This is going to be good for them to know because people don't know me personally. Yeah. They just see you off the videos and they go, well, is this guy really a nice guy or is he not a nice guy? Does he really stick by his people or does he not stick by his people? Does he stand up for his people or is it all for clout?
Yeah, basically with Ben and I, we had a situation where we got off to a great start, having a good conversation. We met, he hosted me in Calabasas. I think we went somewhere. And he was sharing a lot of information and he was very nice with me. He shared, then he invited me to come to the studio.
Yes.
And I got caught up in a situation where I didn't make it and I felt bad. And then he asked me for something, for a business introduction, and I didn't feel comfortable. And I said, hey man, I think you're trying to use me.
Yes. So this is how it was. I have to clear this up, okay? So they must hear this.
Oh, man.
All right. So I talk to him and we meet. We go to Calabasas. When we're there, we sit down and we talked, and he asked me how I started all the social media, and how can he make money on social media too, because this guy might be a jokester on social media, but he's an extremely intelligent guy. So he can make a shit ton of money by teaching other people how to make money, because he knows how to make money. Obviously, you guys see, he knows how to make money. So this guy's money, but he likes to joke around. Today and nowadays, a lot of people catch clout very quick by doing jokes and acting silly. But the truth is, he's got way more to offer than what he's offering. So I told him I was going to give him the full rundown from A to Z. And he told me, Ben, I'll even give you some of the cut. And I said, nope, I don't need a cut. You're Jewish, you're my brother. I'll be there, I'll support you, whatever you need. And I said to him, if anything I could ask for, if you do know anybody that's up there and could put me in a podcast so more people could recognize me and kind of see what the movement is about, just introduce me. And then we continued to talk. So then he was supposed to come to a podcast. He didn't show up, but he didn't just not show up. He told me he was going to come at 10 a.m. and he said I was coming at 11. Then he's like, I'm going to be there by 1. I'm going to be there by 4. I'm going to be there by 6. Shit, I have a flight by 9. I can't make it. And all day I had like a full team, a full production team. Also other people that came to be on the podcast. We're going to do a big podcast. And he didn't make it, but I told him it's completely okay. Everything is fine, you know?
Sorry.
Things happen. No, it's okay. It's life, you know? Yeah. Things do happen. You have to understand people. So what? Like, I put some money on this team. My guys get paid monthly anyways. It doesn't matter whether we do something or not. They get paid, so it's not a big deal. So after that, I had that question where we were talking more a little bit about business, and I said, hey, you know, I saw you did a podcast with this guy or that guy. If you could just put in a good word for me, you know? And then he was like, no, I can't. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he was like, why? I don't know. You said something about why would I ask that? And I said, well, we're Jewish. We're like brothers, you know, we support one another. That's how Israelis are. And truly, that's how we are. We help one another. And he goes to me, I think you're trying to use me. I'm not going to take that Jewish manipulations. And he started going off on me. What did I do? I told him, hey, I really apologize if you felt that way. I'm sending you love. I'll still love you. He unfollowed me. And I told him, I give you love. I'm sending you love. And one day will come a time that you will come back and you will speak to me. And you might even need something and I'll be there to help you. So he did reach out again. And,
I reached out again. It is a very accurate story. I reached out again when I saw that I felt like your heart was pure.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was when I was like, okay, I may have, my New York City instinct may have been wrong about you.
100%.
Because when I saw that, I was like, nah, it's unusual, but his heart is pure.
Yeah, 100%, guys. You have to understand what I've done for my whole life. I mean, I'm a fucking badass motherfucker. Because I'm so badass, I'm sit down and I'm calm, and I would never hurt or harm or try to use anybody, especially not the innocent people. I would never do anything to harm anybody. So for me, it's like, look at me how I look. I'm also caring. I'm locked and loaded. Guess what? I will protect him with my life if someone came in here to hurt him or the guy behind the camera or anyone in this house, because that's what a true stoic man does. So, and I felt like he read that when he saw that I stood up for Israel. And, you know, standing up for your people is right. Doesn't matter where you're from. If somebody was killing Muslims, the Muslims should stand up for Muslims. If someone was killing Christians, Christians should stand up for Muslims. The truth is, everybody should stand up for everybody when innocent people are being hurt or harmed or killed. Doesn't matter what religion you are.
I think you and I agree on the idea. So just for context, so people know, you and I, two Jewish guys with family from Israel, we privately talked about 2 months ago, and we said, we don't have any hatred for the Arabs.
No.
And this is something we did off camera before all this stuff happened 2 months ago, 3 months ago. We behind everyone's back, we said, we don't have any hatred for the Arabs. We have Arab friends. Him and I actually have Arab friends. Two Jewish guys, Israeli. We actually have Arab friends. We actually have Arabs that follow us, support us, and we have friendships with the Arabs.
Arabs and Muslims. So
Arabs and
both.
Muslims.
It's not just Arabs that are Christian. It's Muslims as well, guys. I have a ton of friends that are Muslims that I went and sat and started learning the Quran with them because I respect them and I wanted to hear their side of the story. That's how deep I got into it. So I'm not the kind of guy that says, oh, this guy is Arab, so I don't like him. No, that's generalizing everybody. That's not the way to live life, you know?
Well, let me ask you this. I agree. Yeah, man, that's a good point. So I want to ask you, man, like, as an Israeli, American, do you think, because I don't think there's that many people who've actually been to Israel like you and I have.
Right.
So the people who haven't been to Israel, okay, do you think the local Arab community in Palestine, if you spoke to 100 Arabs in Palestine, how many of them would say Hamas is not corrupt?
So there's the catch. When they elected Hamas, do you think they elected them or they elected them out of fear? Because who has a say there besides Hamas? Because if you say something wrong, Hamas will kill you. So who really elected them, if not Hamas electing themselves? Right? Do you know how many Jewish women there is in Palestine that do not speak about themselves being Jewish? You don't. There is Jewish people in Palestine, Jewish women who light up candles on Friday night, on Shabbat, and hiding it from everybody. Because they're not allowed to be Jewish there. Because you have to understand, after World War II, when the Jews went to Israel and was given to Israel back to them. So I know that everybody on social media today says that Palestine has been suppressed for 75 years. We need to give. Free Palestine means give back Israel to the Palestinians. But whose land was it before? Pre-Palestine. You know history. Who was there first?
Jewish.
Israelis.
Yeah.
So now it seems like on social media people are trying to differentiate between, oh no, there's Jews, there is Zionists, there's the Israelites.
Palestine is a word the Romans used, right, for that area.
So it was actually given by the British, and it was like a curse to them. They call them Falastini. Palestine, they cursed them with that name. It wasn't a name that they gave themselves. They didn't have any currency. They didn't have a flag. They didn't have a name. They didn't even have a religion. You have Israel. On the side here, you have Gaza. On the border to Gaza, you have Egypt. And you have Jordan. If all of these countries around are Arab countries, all around, it's all Arab countries, right? You posted that map.
Yeah.
Why don't they let them in?
Well, do you think that if you spoke to 100 Arabs in Palestine, how many of them do you think would hold Egypt accountable for not opening their border?
Each and every one of them. Each and every one of them.
Then why do you think Egypt doesn't open the border? They're Arabs.
Right? They said it. This is not me saying this. This is going by what Egypt said. They said, and all the rest of the Middle East, they all said that these people in Palestine are looking to create terror. All of them. They're looking to be terrorists, which is not true. There is good people in Palestine, just like there's good people everywhere. The problem is that it's being controlled and manipulated. And it's been manipulated and controlled for so many years that how do you differentiate between one another now? So they don't want to let them in because they know what happens. So they close the borders. But who gives water to Palestine?
Israel.
Who gives electricity to Palestine?
Israel.
Who gives food to Palestine?
Israel.
Who gives medicine to Palestine?
Israel.
Why not Egypt? Who has Palestinians living in there? Israel or Egypt?
Definitely Israel.
Israel has Palestinians living there. Why? Because when World War II happened and we had 6 million Jews that were being killed, exterminated, completely, they tried to eliminate us out of this world, annihilate each and every one of us. When the British gave it back to us, we came to coexist with Palestinian people, and we offered them Israeli passports. We said, we're turning it into Israel now, back to what it was, and we offered all of them Israeli passports. They did, some accepted, some didn't. That's why there's some Palestinians, some went to Gaza.
There's Arabs that are in the Israeli military.
Yes, I posted a picture today. A Palestinian guy and a Jewish guy fighting side by side. They are literally praying. One has the tefillin for the Jew, and the other one is on the floor praying as a Muslim. Both going to fight terror. Muslims are not terrorists. Arabs are not terrorists. I go to Dubai. Look at the UAE. Look at Qatar. Look at Saudi. Why is it such beautiful places? Why is it so well maintained? Why is Gaza not? Because it's controlled by a group that they have one motive and one motive only. And it's to kill all the Jews and remove them from the world. That's it. They don't care about anything else.
What did you think about the bombing that happened at the hospital?
Do you know why it happened at the hospital? You're talking about the one in Gaza, right?
Yeah. People ask me. I don't know much about it. That's
okay. So we actually bombed a hospital, a school, and a mosque. All three. Why? Let me give you the answer. Hamas was hiding in there and put all of their weapons in there because they knew that we have morals and values and beliefs, and we wouldn't bomb it because we will think that innocent people, children and women are there. You see, this is the difference between Israelis and Palestinians and Hamas. As a matter of fact, it's the difference between every man in the world and the men that are fighting for Hamas. We stand on the front line. Ukrainians stand on the front line. Russia stands on the front line. America, we all stand on the front line. The men. The women are behind us. The Hamas puts the women and children in front of them, and they stand behind them. They are sacrificing the women and the children so they will survive. Is that a manly thing to do?
No, of course not.
So if you're dealing with these kind of people, what are you going to do?
Does Hamas like the United States?
No, they just yelled death to the US. With Iran together, they were screaming death to the US.
Do you think Hamas respects European countries?
No.
Do you think they hate the West in general, even if Israel wasn't involved?
Well, let's put it like this. Is there gays and lesbians and trannies in the US?
Yeah.
Okay, well there it's illegal, they would kill them all. Is there the same thing also in Europe? They would kill them all. Is there non-virgins? They would kill them all. Was there women that got raped? They would kill them all. Stoned to death by your own family. Buried in the ground, up to the neck, stoned to death.
What would you say to the white nationalists in the United States who are cheering for the Israelis to be slaughtered? What would be, if it were to happen, what do you predict would happen next? Israel is gone. Jewish is gone. Then what happens?
If Israel puts down their weapons, Israel will be annihilated.
Then what happens?
If they will put down their weapons, there will be peace. If they will remove Israel out of the world, it's the end of the world. That will be the end of time for everybody.
Do you think that the white nationalist that's supporting the slaughter of Jews by Arabs, do you think they're just miscalculating that this group also doesn't like them either? Like they're actually cheering a group of people. Like if you were a white nationalist American, like Nick Fuentes, and you're cheering Hamas, would you say that which group is more of a threat to the white nationalists, Israel or Hamas?
Well, let's ask a better question. Can an American go to Israel and visit and have a good time?
Definitely. Many Americans, you see them.
Now, can he go to Palestine and have a good time?
No, he risks his life.
He's going to die. 100%.
So if one of these white nationalists in the United States was cheering for the Arabs to destroy Israel, if he were to go to Palestine, they would kill him.
Yes.
But if he goes to Israel, they would welcome him.
Yes. So simple. Let's put it like this. There was a party in Israel. 300 young people got killed. All right? One of my close friends got killed saving his daughter. He's here from LA. There was Americans, there was Austrians, there was Germans, there were Arabs. There were people from all around the world that came for this event, and they got killed. But the Hamas will tell you they don't hate Jews, they actually only hate the Zionists. And people tell me on social media that I'm a Zionist. So I looked up the word Zionist and sent it to them. What does Zionist mean? It means that you're a person that's standing up for your country and will not give up your country. That's the meaning of it. But they make it seem like I'm a Zionist and I killed innocent people, I killed children, I raped women. You know, they're putting all of that in there like I did it. No. These are... Somehow, the world was being brainwashed for so many years that Palestine is being suppressed, and they are not smart enough to think outside the box.
What do you think about the far left liberal in America who's cheering for Palestine over the Israeli?
I think they cheer for anybody that's not on their side to be gone. New World Order. Go from 8 billion to 2 billion. That's the truth.
Do you think it's sort of crazy, though, that a far left liberal woman would support Hamas over Israel?
Of course.
When they completely have, like you were saying earlier, they have complete disrespect. It's like almost like they just don't understand who they're cheering for.
Right, they don't. 38% of Nobel Prizes in the United States, Jews. 0.00025 Muslims. 0 Palestinians.
If all the Jews were...
If all the Jews were to die, the world would end. If you hate Jews, then don't watch Wonder Woman anymore, because Gal Gadot is a Jew. And if you hate Jews, then do yourself a favor, stop using the email. And if you hate Jews, the list goes on and on and on and on and on.
If you
stop watching movies in general, because we made all the movies. The people up top were all Jews investors.
What would happen if all the Jews were evacuated from the United States and sent to China?
They'd probably make China a better place. Take Jews in any place around the world.
Do you think?
Take Jews any place around the world. Take the Jews. There's a community of Jews. All right, look at India, right? They're suffering. Go to a Jewish community in India. It's thriving.
If India or China were to take the entire Jewish community in the United States and offer them safe refuge, do you think China and India would be better off?
Of course.
Economically?
Of course. We are actually today, I don't know if you know this, but we are probably the richest country in the world. I don't know if you know that.
No.
And we created the most incredible innovations in the world. I mean, some of you guys, if you have weapons, if you're using a Desert Eagle, the strongest handgun, which is a revolver, but the strongest handgun, Jews made it. Not to forget to mention the Uzi. And the list goes on and on and on. But Jews put the most amount of money every year into research and development so we can make the world a better place.
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's the truth. And ask every Jew in the world, do you hate Arabs? He'll tell you no.
They have.
We don't hold hate in our hearts.
Yeah, facts.
That's why we're able to also thrive. Right after World War II, we finished, we were done, 6 million were killed. We went and we got Adolf Eichmann, We made sure Hitler was dead, and then we shook hands with the Germans and became allies.
Yeah.
And ever since, quiet, no problems.
As an Israeli, Germany's leader, Olaf, just came to Israel and visited. What do you think Israelis think about the German support?
We love every single person. We don't hold hate in our hearts. Again, that's why we constantly thrive and grow and stay innovative. It's because we don't hold hate.
But sorry, cut you off.
Yeah.
But like considering what Germany did to the Jews, but you look at what's happened in the last several decades with how much support Germany takes.
We love
Israel.
Germans.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The average Israeli has appreciation for
We
the state.
all love Germans. Every single Israeli.
Because they appreciate the support.
Yes, because today if you go in Germany and say, "Hi Hitler," you go to jail for a very long time.
I have a home in Germany. My wife is German. So he's right. He's actually right. In Germany, they don't make Nazi jokes the way they do in the United States. They find it repulsive and disgusting. And actually, you know, my father-in-law, he's on the board of directors of a professional soccer team. And I made a small charitable contribution. He made a charitable contribution. We raised money for a charity that takes basically the kids from the soccer league to a concentration camp to show the history, the dark history. Right. And you know, my father-in-law is German, and my wife's grandma on her birth certificate has a Nazi logo. Mm-hmm. And so when I see the Nazi logo on her birth certificate, it sort of shakes me up. But I also know that most Germans did not want to do what the Nazis wanted. They were silenced out of fear.
Of course.
And I know that in my heart, I know that Germany really does support Israel way more credit than I think a lot of people know.
Yes.
You know, and I just think that it's one of the biggest myths is that Germany has this bad reputation when right now the Chancellor of Deutschland, Germany, is literally in Israel showing solidarity. You can see even in the news, Olaf Scholz is showing clear support for the state of Israel. And they take ownership over what happened to the Jews in their country. And they know where the bigotry and the hatred can go. I mean,
They've seen it firsthand.
I'll tell you something, man. As a Jewish man, and I got a lot of Arab friends, my father's side is Iranian. So I'm mixed. My mother's Jewish. Mm-hmm. And I am a Jewish man of faith. But I will say that I've noticed that a lot of my Jewish friends, they want peace.
Always.
Right? So like you can almost make a distinction when the Jewish person says, let's have peace, let's have reconciliation, and let's have some tolerance. That is something that can trigger the other side, which has zero tolerance, zero compassion, complete hatred, anything other than the extinction of the Jews, extermination of the Jews, anything less than that, you are wrong.
Yes.
And then in addition to that, all those wealthy Arab countries aren't helping these people. Then they say, okay, well, Israel is getting helped by America, by Germany, by the British. Okay, yes, Japan. In Japan, they're showing all this solidarity with Israel. But Saudi, these Arab wealthy countries.
Do you know why we get so much help?
What?
Because most of the money that is given to us is, again, to create new innovations, to make the world a better place. But there's something even better. We're the only sane ones in the Middle East. And we're surrounded by groups who could anytime turn on you. I'm saying on the United States. So when you want the best intel, you go to Israel. When there was 9/11, America could not find Osama bin Laden. They came to us. They offered $100 million. We brought them to the front door of Osama. And then we told the Marines, go ahead. It's your job. They opened the door, he came out fighting, and they killed him. And that's how it ended.
When you were a soldier in the Israeli Defense Force, did you work with guys in the Marines?
No.
Did you see guys from other governments?
Yeah, from America, yes. But I mean, I didn't work with them side by side, but of course I saw them.
Yeah. And then what would you say as an Israeli if someone were to say to you, yeah, you can look at all these Arab countries and then the tiny speck is Israel, but they don't, so obviously that shouldn't be there because it doesn't make sense. It's a foreign entity. What would you say?
Who would say that?
Let's say an Arab says all of North Africa is Arab countries, that whole part of surrounding Jerusalem is Arab, but there's one speck, and that one speck is called Israel, and it's a foreign entity. It's not Arab. The only way that happened is it was installed there. It's a foreign entity. You as an Israeli, what would you say to that?
You know, it's the same thing when you look worldwide and you think, where did this person come from? Where did he come from? I think everybody came from the same place, and slowly we were put somewhere, right? But if you look at Israel 4,000 years back, it was Israel. When we left out of Egypt and we walked to Israel, and we were the chosen people, and God sent us to our chosen land, to Israel, after he gave us the 10 Commandments. But look at United States. How long has it been United States? Who was it taken away from? The Native Americans. You know, it's like, was China really China 4,000 years ago? Who was there? Are the Chinese supposed to be there? You know, you start pointing fingers where everybody should be. So where should they go? Where should we go? No, this is the establishment. This is where we're at today. Israel is Israel. It's welcoming everybody to come into Israel. You have all this land. What do you want from us?
As an Israeli, what do you say if someone says that Gaza is an open-air prison?
It's an open-air prison? It isn't. It is a prison. Gaza is a prison. And there's people who work at the top of that prison, right? The guards. Who are the guards? Hamas. They don't let people out of there. Why? Because that's how they get funded. So of course it's a prison. But Egypt doesn't want to let them in. They're saying they're not even real Arabs. Palestinians are not Arabs. They're saying it, not us.
Do you think Benjamin Netanyahu is popular right now in Israel?
A lot of people are angry with him.
Why?
Because he's not doing it right.
You
okay,
think...
let's be real. Okay? Our people know every step, every move, especially of the enemy. We saw Hamas training camp in front of us, right behind the border for a whole year. They were training. We saw them build tunnels. Last time they built tunnels, we waited for them to fill up the tunnels, and we bombed them and destroyed 12,000 members of Hamas. We know everything. All of a sudden, the fence, the border didn't electrocute anybody. All of a sudden, it took 6 hours for military to show up. All of a sudden, people were able to come into Israel and leave out of Israel and kidnap our people without anyone showing up. We have the strongest military in the world. We have the most sophisticated military in the world. We know everything. How did this happen? Someone was a double agent.
You think that
and it's not one. It takes a group to do such a big move.
The intelligence chief of Israel, I think today or yesterday, was saying that he took ownership for what happened.
Sure. Take ownership all the way.
You think because he was You think the intelligence chief of Israel was negligent?
No.
Do you think he has blood on his hands?
There's a group there that does.
Of Israelis?
Uh-huh.
Who do you think they got paid by?
So I think they didn't assume that this was going to happen, and I think they were in negotiation with them.
With
So take a look at this.
Negotiation with who?
Let's start back. Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Yeah? America left all their weapons there. All the weapons that were found by Hamas, all the weapons that were found with Hamas were the same weapons that were left in Afghanistan. How did it get from Afghanistan there? How did they get in right now and everything was shut down? Too many coincidences. America gave $6 billion to Iran, and now Iran is screaming death to America. So now America is going after Iran, and America is telling us we have to eliminate Palestine. You heard it on the news. Eliminate them. That's what American authorities are saying. I think there was a job, the job that they wanted to get done was Palestinian Hamas members go in, kidnap a few people, take them back to Gaza so they could have a trade between the terrorists that have murdered people that we have in our Israeli prisons. They wanted to make a trade-off. And I think Israeli people got paid a lot of money to turn off the phones, the systems, the electricity on the border, the walkie-talkies. They shut down everything. And now they're blaming it on Iran. Iran did it. It was a cybersecurity hack.
You think the real fight is Iran and Israel?
No. I think, how come those planes and ships and everything ready to go by United States, boom, they're in Israel like that? What a coincidence. They were just around the corner. They showed up to Israel as quick as the military showed up to save the rest of the people. Maybe a coincidence.
Do you think Israel was behind 9/11 as an Israeli?
No. No. But wait. Lately I've heard that the Holocaust was fake, and I also heard that 9/11 was fake. There wasn't a plane that went into 9/11. It was America wanting to go into Afghanistan to create war. That's what I heard. I don't know.
If you were an evangelical Christian in Western Europe, or North America, and they wanted to hear from an Israeli Jewish man of what's going on there, what would you tell them directly?
What's going on in Israel?
Yeah, to a Christian, evangelical Christian, to a Christian person who believes in God.
Yeah.
What would you say as a Jewish person from Israel?
I would say that you have to remember that Israel never attacks, it only defends. All of history, Israel never attacked. We only defended. And you can look back anywhere. You start a fight, we just know how to finish it. So what we're doing right now is God's work. We're trying to remove terror from the world. They came, they killed us, but they didn't just kill us. It's one thing killing a soldier. It's one thing killing a police officer. It's a whole nother thing killing women. But before you kill them, you rape them. You pull a baby out of their stomach, burn their baby, rape them, and then kill them and burn them alive. There is no gangster in the world. There is no group in the world. There is no killer that will tell you that's okay. How do you behead 40 babies? 40 babies' heads. How do you behead them? I have videos that obviously I cannot share with the world of all of these things happening. I have a family member. Let me tell you, my cousin, she's in the hospital right now with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend was shot 4 times at the party. He told her to run with the rest of her friends because he's not going to make it anyways. They thought that they killed him, 4 bullets, so they continued. She ran away. Hamas continued to kill more people. She ran away with her girlfriend and 2 more guy friends. Take a look at this. So my cousin is running with her best friend and 2 other guy friends. They get to a hiding place. The guys find some papers and cover them up and tell them not to make a sound, and that if the Hamas is coming, they were going to come out. And when they're going to come out, they were going to save their lives. When Hamas came and searched for them and found them, those 2 men, heroes, walked out and said, "It's us, it's us, we're the only ones here, you could take us in." They shot him to death. And my cousin, who is a young teenage girl, had to hear her best friends being murdered while running away after her boyfriend got shot 4 times and she was sure that he was murdered too. Luckily, the boyfriend survived. When authorities came over there, they managed to get him help, get him to the hospital. He pretended that he was dead. And he had a shot go through his liver, 1 through his lung, 1 through his leg, and 1 through his neck, which almost hit the main artery just by a millimeter. That's how much he missed it by. And now they're sitting at the hospital while their friends are sitting there, coming with guitars, singing to them, playing music, bringing them food, and he's fighting for his life. That girl will be traumatized forever. That girl is not the same girl anymore. So when you have things like this and incidents like that, I don't think anybody could come right now and judge us for what we're doing. We're doing good for the world. We're protecting the world because people forgot about 9/11. People forgot, Americans forgot what happened to us here. This could happen anywhere. You take out the state of Israel, the whole world is done. The Jews are the chosen people of God. Look in the Quran, it says it. In the Christian Bible, it says it. And it says it in the Torah. Every scripture, it says, these are God's people. You will touch God's people, God will get upset. There is the devil. There is evil. But it's okay. Because no matter what, God always wins.
If Israel's exterminated, do you think Europe is next? Do you think Europe's national security is compromised if Israel is exterminated?
You know what's the safest country in Europe today? Poland. Do you know why? They didn't accept any Muslim immigrants. And their president just went up right now and spoke, and he said, this is exactly why we didn't let them in. Because if you go to Germany, they rape women, they kill people. They did not grow up like the Germans. They did not grow up like Europeans. So there's a bunch of problems there. This is not me saying it. This is Poland saying it. Now, he's very proud of not letting any immigrants into Poland. And today, like I said, it is the safest country in all of Europe. Did you see what just happened in Paris not too long ago?
What?
Well, the Muslims over there, they had their riots. Did you see?
No.
No. So people don't talk about these things. But they had riots and they burned down buildings and they destroyed the streets. And they burned down a shit ton of stores and cafes and restaurants and markets. They took down a building. I had videos that they were riding with a dirt bike in the middle of the road, and they tied a rope to the back of it with a chainsaw, and they started up a chainsaw, and they're riding with it. And when they saw people, the guy was just, turning with the bike, and the chainsaw was hitting people, cutting people's legs.
As an Israeli, if you were a resident of Minnesota, where Ilhan Omar is, who's supporting Hamas, basically, what would you say to her if she was watching?
Well, I would say to her that if you're supporting Hamas, you're a terrorist. Loud and clear.
You think she's getting paid by a foreign entity?
100%. 1,000,000%. Or else, why would she say that? Does she support people killing babies? Raping women? If so, why isn't she in Palestine?
Did you respect AOC when at a Palestinian rally she was against the bigotry against Jewish people?
She's against Jewish people. I don't respect her.
No, she stood up against the bigotry of Jewish people.
Oh,
at a AOC, far left liberal.
Yeah.
Did you respect that she did that?
Of course. I think anybody that today supports Palestine is an absolute ignorant person. And I'll tell you why. Because you could scream all you want, free Palestine, help Palestine, and say all you want all around the world. But I don't see any of you guys out there taking a flight and going to Palestine, to Gaza, to stand with Hamas on the front line and fighting for Palestine. So everything you're doing is just because you want to make noise and you like hate and you like to see people die and you like to see pain, just like in the Colosseum in Rome years ago, right? Why was it built? So people could watch other people being killed and they would cheer for it. People are evil. And we're trying to make this world a better place. But none of them actually go to Palestine to fight. I want to see you go fight. On the other hand, Israelis, 300,000 of them, vacation or not vacation, boom, they flew to Israel and started fighting on the front lines. People with 3 kids, 4 kids, 2 kids, fathers, they went to fight. What are you guys doing? Cheering on online? Oh, free Palestine. Like, that's going to last.
Do you think Donald Trump will help Israel more than Joe Biden as an Israeli American? What would you say? As an Israeli American, would you say Joe Biden is a greater friend for Israel or Donald Trump?
Donald Trump.
Is Donald
Trump will absolutely stop all terror in the world. I think this wouldn't have happened if Donald Trump was in office.
In Israel, is Donald Trump respected?
Very much. We all love him. I love him. We love him. We love Donald. He's the man. Yes. Matter of fact, I was at the Trump Durrell just 2 nights ago. A couple of nights ago. A few nights ago. I got to meet him personally. He's an amazing man.
Do you think Donald Trump will do better at protecting not only Israel's national security, but also the United States compared to Joe Biden?
Well, let's look at it this way. BRICS nation, when did it start? It would have never happened if Donald was in office. Now you got all of them standing up. The world reserve currency is not going to be the dollar anymore. The buying power of the dollar went down a tremendous amount. Blacks had more jobs than ever when Donald was in office. There was peace all over the Middle East while Donald Trump was in office.
As an Israeli man, do you think that Joe Biden being in Israel this week is still pretty significant?
Of course it is.
Do you think he could do more?
More than what he's done until now?
Yeah.
I mean, actually, this is the first time that a president of the United States says, annihilate them. It seems like he wants to annihilate them more than we do.
Joe Biden.
Uh-huh.
What do you think Trump would do if he was in power right now?
Same thing. Annihilate them. But I think Joe Biden doesn't know what he's talking about, so he just said, annihilate them. Remove them. He said, make Gaza into a resort. Which we could.
What do you think about, as an Israeli, what do you think about Ben Shapiro? Do you think he's not representing Israel? You think he's antagonizing the Arabs? Do you think he's as antagonizing to the Arabs as Hamas might be to bringing peace? Or do you think Ben Shapiro, in general,
how much could Ben Shapiro do? He could speak online. He could speak on social media. You know what I mean? But antagonizing, I mean, compared to Hamas.
What about Jordan Peterson? What do you think about what he said?
I actually didn't get to hear what he said about Israel. You know that I don't follow anyone on social media.
Yeah, including me.
So, yes. But I'm actually... He doesn't follow me either. It's all right. My mom said the same thing. Why don't you follow me? I'm like, Mom, right now you'd get a lot of hate. Good thing I don't follow you. You know? And if somebody says something about my mom, it turns another way. Yeah. People are very disrespectful.
That's why, that's a big reason why I don't even show my wife and my mom anymore. I mean, my wife and my daughter. Just cover their face. It's just keep that part of your life private.
It's because social media is the portal to hell.
Yeah.
1,000,000%. Look at the back of our iPhones. It's also the portal to hell. It's got the forbidden fruit on the back and it's got a bite on it. Like everything makes sense. When you're woke, you understand the world much better. Let's put it like this. I don't hate Palestinians. I don't even hate Hamas members. I don't hate Arabs. I don't hate Muslims. I don't hate Christians. I don't hate Chinese. I don't hate Buddhists. I don't hate anybody.
Yeah, me neither.
But if there's somebody that's bad, if you're a Hamas member and you killed or you're planning to kill, in our Bible it says, stand up to kill us, it's completely fine for us to stand up and kill you. Hakem le'orgecha, ashkem le'orgo. That's it.
That's Hebrew.
That's Hebrew. And it's in the Bible, right? Just like there is respect your mother and your father, right? And actually it says first, respect your father and your mother. Most people don't even know why father first. It's because mother you respect anyways, because you came from her. But they say respect your father first, because most people lose respect for their dads. A mom you're always going to respect.
Will you marry a Jewish woman?
Yes, 100%.
Would you ever marry a Gentile?
No, I wouldn't marry anybody except a Jewish woman.
Yeah.
100%.
Do you consider me a sellout for marrying a German who's not Jewish, as a Jewish man? As one Jewish guy to another.
So, let me tell you this.
Speak freely.
I have a best friend. I love him to death. He's a Jew for Jesus. I think everybody is right because everybody sees it the way they see it. So if you see this as a yellow cap and I see it blue, who's right, me or you? Just because he sees it blue and I see it blue doesn't mean we're right. You see it yellow, you're right too. So it all depends on the perspective of a person, right? But everybody's right.
Do you think the fact that I'm a mixed part Jew who says I want Arabs and Jews to live peacefully together, I lose respect among a lot of Israelis?
No, because we live with Arabs in Israel, and we want to live in peace.
Would you say most Israelis really do want to be peaceful with the Arabs?
100%.
Yeah, I think so too, man.
So I said this earlier. I said, if Israel puts down their weapons, there won't be any more Israel. If Hamas or any terrorist group puts down their weapon, there will be peace. Anytime they offered peace, we stepped to the table. And when we stepped up, we gave them Mount Sinai, back to Jordan, so they don't say that we have something that's theirs. When it was Gaza, there was the Oslo, that was the Oslo agreements. We gave them back part of Israel that they say was theirs. Anytime they asked for peace, we stepped forward and came to the table. We shook their hand and we agreed. Actually, the leader of Hamas was captured. And when he was captured with us, when he was in prison, that same leader that you guys see now, and we gave him back just because we had an agreement with them, and they gave us back one of our guys, and we gave them 1,000 of theirs. 1,000 of theirs we gave them for one of our men. That leader of Hamas, when he was with us, after some years, he had a brain tumor, and he was supposed to die. The doctors of Israel saved his life. We released him. Look what he did. He ordered, just not too long ago, 1,300 people, women, children, kids, even dogs, elderly, to be killed.
Why do you think there's so many Iranians outside of Iran that are supporting Israel?
By the way, if you guys don't know, Iranians are some of the smartest people in the world. So I don't know if you guys know this at home, but they're extremely smart. A lot of Iranians who left Iran, Muslims. All of them that left Iran.
Many Muslims.
Yeah.
Actually, they're Muslim. Many of them are Muslims.
Yeah. They left Iran because their own people were killing them.
Yes.
So they will never want to go back, and they'll never go back. It's like Patrick Bet-David also. He's Iranian, and he lived in Iran, and his family brought him here to the United States so he could have a better life. He'll never go back there to live. Probably wouldn't even go back there to visit anymore. You saw what they just did to their own people in Iran. They hung people on the streets. They executed hundreds, if not thousands of people because they wanted them to go and be part of their movement. There is no freedom there. So all the Iranians around the world who left Iran, they ran away from Iran. All the Israelis around the world that left Israel to go make more money somewhere else, because you have to see it this way. Israel, 90% of the men are lawyers. Everybody's extremely smart. Unless you guys are creating something together, you can't make business. Everybody's smart. It's very hard to make money. We go to other countries where it's much easier for us. That's the truth.
Shit, man.
It's the truth.
We're going to get beat up for that one, man. Online, you know what I mean? Shit, man. This guy was just the most based Israeli. The king of based Israeli. Bro.
Look, I speak the truth. And you know what? Israelis are very competitive. We have more startup companies in Israel than the whole world put together. Every year. We're very competitive. You want to prove us wrong? Don't go on social media and curse us and tell us we need to die. Go do something great. But you guys already know, in order for you to make something great, you'd have to kill the old you for your new you to be born. So all that programming in your mind, in your subconscious mind, that you're running 24/7 on autopilot like a freaking moron, you got to switch that. Boom, blank again. And maybe instead of hating Jews, go be next to Jews. Go to their communities. Be a part of their community. You don't have to become a Jew. But take the Muslims in Israel that are next to Jews. Extremely smart.
Do you think Hamas would be excited if, do you think Hamas would be excited if Trump was elected?
Be excited to die or what?
No, I'm just saying.
I think they're going to be gone by then.
No, but if Joe Biden and Donald Trump are in the election, who do you think Hamas would support? I ask you.
Oh, Biden. Yeah, for sure, Biden.
So would it be safe to say Israelis support
Well,
Trump?
they want more liberal, because if you think about liberal, give you the freedom to live the way that you want, and everybody should live freely. Israel is very liberal. Then you have Trump, who's very conservative. Trump being conservative, you just killed babies, what is he going to do? He's going to bomb them. We don't even have to bomb them. All the missiles that arrived right now to Israel came from United States.
If there's one last thing that you'd like to leave this, like, what would be your final message to the world as an Israeli?
One thing I could tell everybody is that if you don't have a Jewish friend, you better find one. Because being around Jewish families will only make you better. And the reason I say that is because we only think about good things. As men, when we sit together, we think about what better things can we do for the world, and we always do it for others. And when you do it for others, you make it in life. We don't think about it ourselves. We don't think selfish. We think about other people. Everything we do is for the people and the people of the world. That's why every single innovation that we have, we gift it to the world. And the truth is, I'm sure that the Israelis also made Bitcoin to help the world.
If you want to, I highly recommend, he's a great guy. I know him. I've met him in life more than once. And where could they find you? Highly recommend. Check this guy out.
King Azulai. So if you look at my social media, everywhere I'm King Azulai. Just if you're gonna look on YouTube, you'll find just King Azulai. If you'll go on Instagram, you'll find King_Azulai. We'll write that in there anyways, so they can find it.
And if you guys check me out on online at Nima Yamini, and I have a book coming out being published by D&G, How to Not Be a Bitch. And hey Ben, this was a pleasure, man. Welcome to Miami. It was great to see you here.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you, man.
Really.
All right, guys. Another one. Let's go.
Yeah.